right, here we go for Southern Utah Forum on this Friday evening. We are going to go with our debate tonight. The last two nights have had each of the candidates on for the Iron County Commission running on the Republican primary ticket. And basically we've talked about how the winner of this race will be de facto the commissioner, because there is no competition, we understand at this point, from the Democratic Party or any other party. So it's between you two gentlemen. I'd like to introduce our guest tonight, Alma Adams, who was with us last night. Hello, Alma. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. Thanks.
And Dave Miller, also running with us tonight, okay?
It's good to be with you, Tim.
Okay. This is where we're going to try to keep things as fair and as balanced as we possibly can as far as time with each of you. And let me just tell you that there are a couple of ways you can get information to us. And Andrea, if you'll grab my laptop and pull up the KSUB website, you'll have to turn it on and maybe bring that in to me. Just unplug it and bring it in. You can email questions to us by getting on the website at ksub590.com. There's a link on there that says submit a question for the debate, and we'll be happy to take your questions by email. You can call in tonight, but this is kind of a first for us, I think, here at the radio station. We're not going to just pick up the phone and put you on the air. Because in this situation, we feel that it is time for us to let the candidates state their position and debate it all with a sense of fairness to each other. So basically, your role as the callers here tonight is going to be almost like the role of what it is on the talk shows, which is to ask the questions and then let our participants here. That's okay, I can run off battery. And let the candidates here have their time. So here's the thing. As I mentioned, Andrea's in the other room, and she just brought me my laptop. Thanks, Andrea. I should have brought that in. Andrea's going to be screening your calls. And basically, when you call in tonight at 586-5900, the first question she's going to ask you is, what is your name? Which is something we don't usually do on the forum. But tonight we're going to ask you, and if you don't want to give your name, then you will not go on the air. And the other question that Andrea's going to ask you is, what is your question? She's going to write those down. And when we put you on the air, you're going to state your name and ask your question. That's all you're going to do. If you start trying to make a point, if you start trying to set up the question, it's strictly, what's your name, what's your question, because we want these gentlemen to have as much time as they can to answer the questions. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to start by giving each candidate 2 minutes to make an opening statement, if you will. If you do want to call in, and again, they're under these restrictions, name and questions only, 586-5900, 586-5900, and if I think you're haranguing or Andrea thinks you're haranguing, we will take you off the air tonight. So the nickname I gave Andrea, what was it, Andrea? The phone Nazi, right? So she will be in there doing that. So we're going to start off with the statement. I'm going to toss a coin. Alma, I'm going to let you call the coin since you're the older member and you're also the incumbent. So heads or tails, and head, and it is tails. So that means we'll let Dave have the first 2 minutes here, and at the end of the show, Alma, you'll get the first 2 minutes. Okay? So, Dave, I'll go ahead and if you'll start, and I'm going to get my stopwatch going, and we'll give you 2 minutes to make an opening statement here on the debates tonight.
Tim, thank you. It's such a great experience to be able to come on the radio and reach the listening audience. I appreciate all the effort that you guys put into this. I guess the introduction that I'd like to start with is how important I do believe that the voice of the people of this county is represented. We do have a tremendous heritage and history in the community, and we have found ourselves with tremendous challenges that many of us tend to feel, and we'd like to identify and deal with. I would like to say that as I have been involved in the county, directly in the county commissions, attending these meetings for over a year and a half, I have become acutely aware of some of the challenges that I would like to see dealt with swiftly and in a way that allows for the community to have a voice and to participate in. I think one of the foremost challenges in county government that I've seen is the understanding of what a big role the county does play in our lives. We have taxes, we have land use issues, private property affects all of us. My my focus is to represent the people of this county in such a way that they know that they have a voice and that they can also count on getting the information. I had mentioned in the radio spot 2 nights ago that I would take it upon myself if the radio station was up to it to give a report every day, every county commission meeting, and just try to be as absolutely transparent and hardworking on behalf of everybody in the county. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And just we're still working out our mechanics here. So when you see the hand go up, that means you have 30 seconds left. Okay. And Alma, your 2 minutes for your opening statement, if you would, please.
Thank you so much. I appreciate KSUB and Cherry Creek Radio for allowing the candidates to come on to have this forum that we might come and debate and state our platforms. I am a lifelong resident of Iron County, fifth generation member of Iron County. My great-great-grandfather having come with the first company to Iron County in 1851. What a heritage we have. I've been a successful businessman, farmer and rancher for 36 years. I have a wonderful wife and 4 children and a grandson. I'm a fiscal conservative. I've been on the county commission for 5.5 years now, and feel that I've done a tremendous job for the people, and I've learned much and I've given much, and I've appreciated the wonderful opportunity that I've had to serve each of you people out there. And you know, it's been interesting in the time I've been on the commission. We had really wonderful economic times, prosperous times, and then the downturn came in, and so it's been very challenging. But as a commission, we've been able to keep things on an even keel. We've been able to downsize. We've been able to balance our budget every year and keep this county fiscally responsible. I would like to say that I represent the mainstream right. I think it's important that people know that and my opponent is to the right of me, more of the right wing. I think that's important that is brought out. And I also want to say that I have the backing of all the mayors in Iron County. I'm not just saying that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adams. Appreciate that. And again, when you see the hand, I know it looks like stop, but that means you got half a minute left, so I don't want to confuse you. All right. Again, to you that are listening to the show, we do not want you to be excluded, but we are kind of keeping things a little tighter tonight. So when you call in, you will be asked your name. You will need to give your name on the air with us, and you will also just get to your question. If you start trying to set up the question or make a point or start trying to grandstand for one of the candidates, we will take you off the air. And so Andrea is taking care of that business on the phones. Also, you may email to us. Actually, go to the website at ksub590.com. You'll see a link on the left side of the main page that says submit your questions here for the debate, and they will pop up right on my computer screen, which is right in front of me. So if you have a question, you can submit that by email. Again, your name is required before you can send that form in to us, and we will go from there. Our first question tonight is not actually going to come from me. We did have a person call during your opening statements, but who did not want to go on the air, but Andrea was good enough to write the question down. So we started with Dave on the opening statements. So we're going to go ahead and take the first question to Mr. Adams, and again, we'll do basically 2 minutes for each candidate, and to take up to 2 minutes, and again, the hand will mean 30 seconds. And the question coming from Spencer asks this question: if there was a budget shortfall, what circumstances would you raise taxes? Mr. Adams.
If the situation was such that we could see that we weren't going to be able to pay our bills, that we couldn't maintain reasonable level of services, then we would have to look at raising taxes. And we actually did that as a commission in the previous commission when our studies showed that our revenues were declining. Then we did indeed have to do a tax increase. when the downturn came in, though, we have downsized tremendously by attrition and done many things to continue forward without a tax cut. Luckily, we were able to get full funding of PILT, that's payment in lieu of taxes, that we didn't have before the downturn, and that's helped the county to remain financially viable. But there would have to be a compelling reason, of course, to raise taxes.
Okay, you have some time left. You don't have to take the full 2 minutes, but you have about another...
That's my answer.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Dave, your response to that question?
Well, I think if we want to look to that question with responsibility, it is important now to anticipate that could be a possibility. So we prepare now by living below our means. And what that means at a county level is that we do not find ourselves bonding ourselves to high levels of bondability. We want to make sure that our commitments that we make are below the ability to repay them, and that as we find ourselves, if we ever do, in a position where the community is put under any kind of financial duress where budget shortfalls may occur, that we've got some latitude to be able to maneuver. I do have to say that I was really disturbed in 2008 when the taxes were raised, particularly on the municipal service district in Iron County, without very good input from those constituents that would be affected by this. And when it did take place, there were 500 people that showed up at the county courthouse, at the county fairgrounds, to express their discontent and their disagreement with the action that did take place. I would commit that if there is a need to raise taxes, that we do that in a fashion that is very clear what the needs are, very clear that there are those participants and stakeholders involved, and as a result, it would avoid the kind of negativity that still continues to this day. And what my hope is that we run the county fiscally responsibly, so that we don't run ourselves into that kind of a challenge going forward. That's what I would do.
All right, thanks, Mr. Miller. I was going to actually take a break, but frankly, the next question dovetails right after that one. So we're going to go ahead and go to a caller. Caller, what is your name and what is your question, please?
My name is Don Young, and my question is for Commissioner Adams.
Okay, you realize they'll both answer, though, right?
I'm sorry?
You do realize both candidates will answer the same question. So
yes,
okay.
Yes. My question for both candidates, specifically to Commissioner Adams, because he was commissioner when this happened. The question is, why did you impose the municipal service tax on unincorporated residents in 2008 and increase your salary by 20% that same year?
Okay, we'll let the commission. Actually, I think Dave actually gets this one, so we're going to let Dave answer that first, and then we'll ask Commissioner Adams. Thank you, caller. We do appreciate that. Dave, how do you respond to that?
Well, the nature of that question certainly is not directed to me as a candidate, but I will carry on with what I started with. When it comes to public service, I think it's very important that those who are carrying that responsibility of public trust, that they do communicate with their constituents, and when there is a need, especially a need where it may impact the taxes and the revenues of the individuals involved, that there is clear communication. I think that we can find that there's multiple areas that we can better communicate in the county, and I would commit to help do that. I know that there's an effort right now, and I hope that I'm a part of helping bring that about, but there is an effort to bring on a videoing of the county commission meetings. I would like to see us holding meetings, one in Parowan, as it's currently held, 9 o'clock on Monday. I'd like to see us hold one in Cedar City in the evening where people can attend. I think it is crucial that when taxes are raised, that people know what's going on. And as for giving a raise to somebody giving themselves a raise, I just clearly think that those who are in control need to have a say. as an employer, if I had an employee come and tell me he was getting a raise, I would have a real issue with that. And I think if there was a need for somebody who can give out the raise, asking for a raise, they need to have permission before they can get that raise granted.
All right. Thank you, Dave. We appreciate that. And Commissioner Adams, 2 minutes.
Okay. Well, the chronology is not correct there. We did not do the tax increase and the raise the same year. The tax increase was done because our studies showed that it was needed to maintain the financial viability of the county. The raises were given in quite a prosperous time, and our HR director did a study of all the wages in the county, took wages from other counties of the third class, which we are, and we bumped up the salaries of the elected officials and the department heads across the board. And when we were done, we were still the lowest salaries of any of the counties of the third class. I mean, at some point, as any employer knows, you have to raise salaries. In my personal business, we basically raise salaries 3% every year. We found in our study that we were quite a ways below the other counties, and like I say, it was a time of relative prosperity, and so we were brought reasonably into line, but still the lowest of all the third-class counties. And, you know, I mean, if no one ever raised salaries, then we would be at the same level as 1920s.
Okay, I was signaling Andrew, so I'm sorry. You have about another 30 seconds.
Okay, that's my answer.
That's your
Thank
answer.
you very
All right.
much.
Appreciate that. I know we do have callers waiting. There are 2 ways to get on the air tonight with your questions. Call as you do, 586-5900. We are advising you tonight you are being screened. We will need your name, and just ask. All we're asking you to do is just ask the question. You can also go to our website at KSUB590.com, and you'll find a link there where it says submit your questions for the candidates, and they'll be popping up on my screen. We do need to take a break. Andy, while we're in the break, if you'll cut our feed so we can just chat here in there. And we'll be back in a couple of minutes. This is Southern Utah Forum on KSUB.
Get it right with Rocky Ridge, episode number 42.
You know, I really don't know what to do with this awful yard of mine. I go to the big box stores and they're no help. Oh, of course they're not. They're not from Southern Utah. They don't know what's best for our soil and region. But Rocky Ridge Rock is locally owned and operated and offers the best landscape materials for Southern Utah yards, including rock, soil, dirt varieties, soil conditioners to help your garden thrive, topsoil, and more.
867-1368. Get it right with Rocky Ridge.
Southwest Sprinkler Supply has moved to Main Street. It's connected to Southwest Plumbing Supply and Kitchen Bath Distinctions across from the cemetery in Cedar City. More inventory, more brands, more professional sprinkler designers, better location, and the same great service you have come to expect over the last 23 years. Don't drag that hose around one more season. Southwest Sprinkler Supply is ready to meet all your sprinkler needs. We can help you do it yourself or find qualified professional contractors to help you.
Desert Coach RV is your #1 stop for selection. New models still arriving daily, so why go anywhere else? Check out the new lightweight, smaller trailers. Aluminum framed with fiberglass siding, so you don't end up with a stick and tan from one of the big lots. Desert Coach is the only RV dealer in Southern Utah with fifth wheels like Bighorn, Sundance, and Greystone. Desert Coach has Cyclone fifth wheel toy haulers in stock, 16 North, 1100 East, right off St. George Boulevard exit at I-15. Desert Coach, bringing families together one RV at a time.
This is Chris Redgrave for Zions Bank, speaking on business. Jack Olson started into the auto business during the Great Depression. Business was tough, to say the least. To sell a car, he'd drive his car around town with a new car towed behind it and wouldn't come home until he sold the car. Now that's dedication. His son-in-law, Kent Murdoch, joined the business and steadily worked his way up. Kent went from selling to managing and owning, later buying out his father-in-law and opening Murdoch Chevrolet in Woods Cross in the early 80s. Today, Kent, with his sons K.O. and Blake, own Murdoch Chevrolet. They've expanded the business to include 3 Hyundai stores along the Wasatch Front. Kent was recently honored at the Utah Auto Dealers Hall of Fame. This means something, since only 1 or 2 people are recognized each year. Company Vice President Kao says the auto industry is a dynamic business to be in with new changes daily. He has enjoyed watching the trends in buying cars at Murdoch Chevrolet over the years, from one car per family to today where you see a car for every licensed driver or activity. It's no small feat to have successfully entered the third generation of family ownership, since about only 10% of businesses hit this important milestone. Kao says that they've done well working as a family, and he's excited for the next generation now coming into his business. His father's motto has always been, "Where you are the heart of our business," and you can see it in their customer satisfaction. Murdoch Chevrolet has been recognized in independent Chevrolet surveys for their high level of service as one of the top Chevrolet dealers in the state, and top 5 for sales and top 3 for customer satisfaction. They're confident with the owner on site at Murdoch Chevrolet every day. This care shows in their high level of repeat customers now spanning several generations. If you like cars, don't miss Speed at the Utah Museum of Fine Arts, opening tomorrow and staying through September 16th. Visit speedumfa.com for more information. For Zions Bank, I'm Chris Redgrave, speaking on business.
Cedar City's official hate radio station. Because don't you hate it when you miss something? Talk Radio 590 KSUB.
Really? The police? That's the best you can come up with. It's Southern Utah Forum on this Friday afternoon from Talk Radio 590 KSUB. We're pleased to have Alma Adams with us and Dave Miller with us. They are the two candidates running for the Iron County Commission. The primary is coming up June 26th. Your participation is certainly welcome. Callers, we are making it a little bit tighter to get on the air. You must give us your name. You must give us, just go right to your questions. So we'll go back to the phones. Each candidate's getting 2 minutes to answer. Let's go back to the phones. I believe we have Paul. Paul, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. Give us your full name and ask your question, please.
My name's Paul White, and the question is, what have you done regarding the prairie dog issue, or what will you do?
All right. The issue that just doesn't die. Commissioner Adams, go ahead and take the first 2 minutes.
Okay. Thank you very much, Paul. I appreciate your call. I've spent probably conservatively 30 to 40% of the time that I've worked as a county commissioner on prairie dogs. It's just continual. It's crazy. The Endangered Species Act is a burden that we should not have upon us, but we do, and so we have to live within it until we can get that changed. And some of the things that we're doing is working on a new HCP, that's a habitat conservation plan. With the new plan, it will be better because the take that people receive will be into perpetuity instead of the take that we have now, that you have to start building and continue and finish your project within a reasonable amount of time, or else the take comes back. We've been working on translocation. We have numerous sites on the BLM, the National Forest, and now we have sites that are protected on private land because of conservation easements. We've been upgrading those. We've been working on and lobbying for the expansion of the 4D rule, which will allow Paraguna in their cemetery, the terrible desecration there, and Parowan Airport, the safety problems there, that they will be able to have lethal take in those areas. I was one of the original members of the committee who did the Utah Prairie Dog Habitat Credit Exchange Program. That was quite an ordeal, a very long and arduous task, but we have that in place, and that means that we now can buy conservation easements from private landowners, and they have to keep the dogs on their property. They continue to own their property and use it as they have in the past, but the dogs have to stay there into perpetuity, and so they're counted for delisting, and we also
Thank
get
you, Mr. Adams. That's time.
Credits.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. All right,
Thank you.
Dave, your answer?
So the question was, what would I do and what have I done regarding prairie dogs? My responsibility as a citizen is to be involved. I believe firmly in civic duty, and without compensation, I have been involved in attending prairie dog meetings for years. I've attended UPDRIP meetings, which is Utah Prairie Dog Recovery Implementation Program. I've attended some of the studies or some of the events where they're describing the prairie dog problem in the community. And I look at Commissioner Adams' comment that he spent roughly 40% of his time quickly at roughly $42,000 a year of what a commissioner gets paid. That 40% of that over the last 6 years is roughly $100,000 of our tax dollars that's being spent to deal with something that is perpetual, ongoing, and has been a nuisance for the rest of the county. The economic impact of the prairie dog in this county is outrageous. The proposals that I have seen do not deal with the prairie dog in a fashion that is truly representative of the people of this community, nor the prairie dog itself. If we were truly trying to recover the prairie dog, as all of those that I speak with on the side of the fence that is the biological side, I have seen such a disparity in how we are going to recover. From the private sector side and private property side, we're not counting the prairie dogs on that property. The Habitat Conservation Plan, as it's currently proposed, will create a bigger encumbrance upon the county than I think is reasonable. It will be costly. We need to deal with this prairie dog issue head on.
All right, Mr. Miller, thank you very much. Appreciate that. We're getting up to where I need to take another break, but I'm going to sneak in one more question. This from our website, but I'm going to truncate and give each of you just 1 minute on this one, okay? This question from Blake Cousins at KSUB590.com. And even when property values go down, taxes and the budgets seem to remain the same or even increase in some cases. Is this how it should work? Is it true that the size of the budget will be to reduce, then the property taxes should decrease with it? 1 minute, Dave Miller.
Thank you for the question. The kind of the short answer, so that it's clear how that works. We have the assessed valuations of the entire county that is determined by the assessor's office, and that is balanced against what the total dollars that are needed in order to fund the operations of the county. And from that derivative is the certified tax rate determined. When that certified tax rate is determined by the state, it comes back and those valuations directly impact us. The only way that we're going to decrease the taxes on our properties, we have to either improve the valuations, which we need an economic recovery, or we need to quit spending in the county.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Miller. Mr. Adams, 60 seconds, please.
Okay, thank you. Tax law, property tax law is pretty difficult for most people to understand and confusing. But basically, let's just put a number out there. Let's say the county budget, the county portion of budget from property taxes was $1 million, and that was locked in. State law says that the county, regardless of the valuations, whether they go up or down, the county continues to receive $1 million in tax dollars from property tax. Okay, so if the downturn comes in as it did, and almost all the property values were devalued, then the tax rate goes up. So the $1 million is made sure. That makes some people quite upset because their income is not guaranteed. That's state law, and that's the way it works. And thank you,
Mr. Adams. I appreciate that. The time is up. We have to take a break. We'll be back. I know we have callers waiting on the phone. We'll get to you as quickly as we can. This is Southern Utah Forum. You're with Talk Radio 590 KSUB.
Guys, urinating frequently, interrupted sleep, intimacy issues? Yes, it could be your prostate. Right now, you can try Prostorix, the gold standard in prostate supplements, for free. Just pay a small shipping and handling fee. The proprietary formula in Prostorix contains more proven ingredients for prostate health than the leading brand. Order your free bottle of Prostorix today. Just call 888-773-0299, 888-773-0299, or visit ptx1.com, ptx1.com.
A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Come on, Grandpa. I'm gonna school you.
I'd hate to miss a moment of playing hoops with my grandson.
I'm on fire.
So I'm using my Medicare preventive benefits from the healthcare law.
Nothing but net.
There are no copays or deductibles for annual wellness visits and some cancer screenings.
2 out of 3, Grandpa.
You are on.
Don't miss a moment. Use your preventive benefits. Learn more at healthcare.gov.
A big part of your life is on your computer at home. Please make sure your files are backed up with Carbonite. And what about the files on your computers at your small business? What would happen if you lost them and couldn't get them back? Carbonite has a plan to protect them as well. Start your free trial today at Carbonite.com. Carbonite is always striving to create better ways to protect your computer files, and they're succeeding. Carbonite was just honored with the 2012 Silver Edison Award for Innovation. The award symbolizes the persistence and excellence of Thomas Edison, as well as America's drive to remain in the forefront of innovation and creativity. Carbonite.com for home and for your small business. You need a better backup plan. You need the innovation and leadership of Carbonite. It's the backup plan that we use at home and at Mercury, and plans start at $59 a year. Start your free trial today at Carbonite.com. Use the offer code Glenn and get your 2 free bonus months if you decide to buy. That's Carbonite.com, offer code Glenn.
Men, would you like to safely and easily lose belly fat without strict diets or rigorous exercise? Clinical studies show that men who boost their testosterone experience amazing results and reduce belly fat. That's right, testosterone melts belly fat. You've probably heard about some of the benefits of boosting testosterone, such as stronger sex drive and sexual performance, more energy, and even lower cholesterol. But chances are you haven't heard that increasing testosterone causes fat loss. Would you like to boost your testosterone and easily lose belly fat? Then try Andro 400. Listen to what Calvin from Las Vegas said.
I've been taking Andro 400 for about 3 months, and I feel amazing. Dropped 35 pounds, no aches or pains, and I have a new zest for life.
So men, go to Andro400.com today and find out how you can naturally boost your testosterone and lose belly fat easily and inexpensively. That's Andro400.com, Andro400.com.
Shouldn't your business be advertising here? Radio that gets results. Talk Radio 590, KSUB.
Not sure I didn't like the police better. It's Southern Utah Forum on Talk Radio 590 KSUB, and Andrew doing just a great job in there. All right, let's we've got just a little bit of time left, so let's get right back to the phone calls. Let's get our first caller that's waiting. Please give us your name and get right to your question, please.
Is that me?
Yes, it is.
Okay, this is Evan Ludwig. Yesterday, a gentleman called and stated when Mr. Adams was on that the prairie dog, we're back to them, was supposed to have ended around the year 2000. Now, we keep seeing the government changing rules with the Paraguna Cemetery fences, with the fence around the...
Okay, I need to push you to your call, Kevin, because we're right out of time.
What would you do to force the government to live up to its stated goals when they set a standard, to live up to it and quit changing the game in the middle of the game?
Okay, Commissioner Adams, that goes to you first. For 1 minute, okay?
Evan, I appreciate your question. You keep using that word force, and that's tough. As I stated yesterday, I don't know if we hold a gun to their head, if we take up arms as a county. I've heard many people say we just need to go out as a group and shoot them all, you know. But I've found, I've learned by sad experience that we have to work with these people because of the law, and I don't know how we force them to do anything. We're very adamant. We negotiate heavily with them. We do everything we can to get them to live up to what their side of the bargain. But I'm not sure how we force anybody to do anything.
Okay, you have a few seconds.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Miller, your response to that?
My background is with contracting. I have understood clearly the importance of understanding what you enter into before you do it. When it comes to the arrangements with our partners that we call the agencies and others involved with the recovery of the endangered species, the prairie dog, we have got to quit negotiating on their terms when we can negotiate on our terms. I understand that there are federal mandates, federal law, but the federal government needs to recognize that we have sovereignty as citizens and as a state. The 10th Amendment of the Constitution made it very clear that those rights not specifically delegated to them in the enumerated powers were to be left with the states and the people, I would negotiate on behalf of the people of this county and property owners, and I would clearly make a strong effort to draw a line that we will work with them on our terms.
All right, thank you, Mr. Miller, and we appreciate that. Next question from the KSUB590.com website, where, again, you can still get questions to us. They pop up on my screen. It's kind of weird. Things are working here. This question from Rich, and we'll start with you, Dave. 1 minute response. If you want to take up 2 minutes, you can answer the question, do you support Iron County bonding for the SUMA building?
Well, I will give you this answer, sir, that when it comes to the projects in the community that have been committed to by previous commissioners, I will support them. SUMA stands for the Southern Utah Museum of Arts. It has been a project that's been worked on for quite some time. There is funding allocated through a revenue stream that's called the TRCC, the Tourism, Restaurant, Cultures, and Conventions Fund. That fund has been utilized. It's been obligated, but those commitments that have been made, I would honor. What I would be very cautious about, however, is that we continue to make new obligations and spend dollars and find ourselves in a predicament where we would be, if the downturn does occur, not be able to fund those projects. Unless we take it from taxpayers.
All right, Mr. Miller, thank you very much. You took that very well. Mr. Adams, 1 minute on that.
Yes, we have a commission have made a verbal commitment, and we're working on a written commitment to SUMA. As Mr. Miller stated, it's all restaurant tax dollars, nothing from the general fund. Our written agreement will say that no money will be given to the project until ground is broken, and all the money will come from restaurant tax funds, not from the general fund.
Okay. Is this someone waiting? Okay. Actually, we're going to leave the questions. I've got all of them cleared off the website, so I thank you all for emailing in. But we're getting to the point where we need to get to some closing statements. We'll give you each 2 minutes to close up here. Actually, I'm sorry. We're going to give you each a minute and a half, 1.5 minutes for closing statements, because we're up against the clock. And we'll go ahead and start. Mr. Adams, you have the next minute and a half.
Okay. Thank you. As I said at the first of the program, I have thoroughly enjoyed serving on the Iron County Commission. I have public service in my blood. That is my motivation for running and for being a county commissioner is public service. I love the people of this county and have their good and their needs upmost in my mind. I'm grateful for the associations I have in this community and the wonderful people we have here. I feel that I have done a good job of taking care of the financial house of this community through the worst economic times since the Great Depression. We balance our budget every year. I think there's a lot of animosity towards government because of the way our federal government is so dysfunctional, and it's not fair to attribute that to county government and local government here in Utah. I don't know of any local governments that have defaulted or anything like that we hear in other states. We've kept our financial house in order. I do want to reiterate again that I represent the mainstream right. I'm very conservative. My opponent is further right, and I think that distinction needs to be made clear.
Thank you, Mr. Adams. We appreciate your comments. Mr. Miller, minute and a half.
Well, I do sit to the right of Alma here in the studio. I don't know what he exactly means by that I'm right of him from mainstream right. I think I'd like to make it very clear that when it comes to where I stand on the principles of liberty. I stand on the principles that the individuals are they're the makeup of the community and of this county. I will stand for the rights of the individuals of this community. I will work hard on behalf of the county to be a representative voice in regards to petitioning our state to protect those rights of our individuals. I have, by the way, I do have support of other state legislators, and quite frankly, I'm grateful for the tremendous work that's been done on behalf of the two new county commissioners. I chose to run against Alma Adams, not necessarily of my own choosing, but because of a lot of encouragement. I respect him, but I have chosen to run because I see that there are many positions that he has been lax on that I will lead out, and I will help to truly bring a solid direction of property rights and wisdom as much as I can. I make my commitment to work hard and to critically evaluate each and every issue. And first and foremost, I will do that through the lens that I work for the citizens of the county. I want to look.
Thank you, Mr.
I will
Miller.
work with the great team of this county.
That's Southern Utah Forum from Talk Radio 590 KSUB Cedar City.